country is very, very hard and we are suffering.
Electricity is not constant. The tariffs have gone really high.
Everyone on boss, everyone on scatter.
Nigerians are going through hell.
We no longer get job like we used to. But even though the clients that are coming are always begging and begging and begging, which we understand that the country is very difficult, especially the exchange rates.
The economy is in a really messy, sticky situation right now. Like galloping inflation is absolutely what's going on in Nigeria right now.
Being a celebrity does not exempt you from a massive national economic crisis, and just because we are somewhere in the food chain where we can afford certain things more than people, doesn't mean that the cost of living doesn't go up for us naturally.
I think the government needs to do something about it as fast as possible, and we as celebrity need to come together to bring out a voice, because I'm 100% sure that we are strong enough to talk on behalf of masses, talk on behalf of our followers, talk on behalf of people who are there for us when we release our movies to watch. So we should come also together and also talk on their behalf and to tell the government to find solution to this problem.
And what are we telling the government? The government is speaking to no one. We're in a situation where we are the government and we'll be sorting it out whichever way we want to sort it out, and when it's time we'll get back to you guys. Nigerians are going through hell.
I feel that when there's a national state or crisis here, we influential people should be part of what will help in whatever way. I know naturally everybody just expects give money. I would not put that on anyone, because nobody knows anybody's pocket. Just because I'm a celebrity doesn't mean I can't be out of cash. You understand what I mean? But it doesn't mean I'm out of power. It doesn't mean I'm out of wealth. It doesn't mean I'm out of empathy. I'm out of the voice that can suit someone. We have all of that. We have more elements than even the government has when it comes to calming people down. Some people listen to music and just helps them. Comedy has helped Nigeria go through a lot. Music, dance has helped Nigeria go. So I feel that whatever area of influence you have on the minds of people right now, it is more valuable than you just giving them money.
I don't know what to say. I'm not going to just kid you and give you all these rhetorics about how we can get together and advise the government. The government is not meeting us. They're not feeding us. They're not giving us feedback on what's going on, what the plans are their developmental plans, what is the power plan for Nigeria in terms of electricity and everything. Well, how are they moving? How are they moving with education? Nothing. I'm not hearing jack.
I think Tinubu needs to check it very well. I think the governors need to come together to provide a level playing ground for people who are below. A lot of people are not even eating at all again. A lot of people are eating just once a day. So it's very difficult. I
would say it's biting, because I don't think anybody, if you look at it from a percentile situation, the percentage of increase in cost is over 1,000% increase in cost. Who wants that in their pocket, no matter how rich you are? That is a big hole, So yeah, we are feeling it.
We sit down, we grind through it. We are creatives. We'll always create and make money, and while they try to sort their issues out.
What we can do is keep our minds positive. From there we can find solution. You can't find solution when you carry the problem and put it like this. You cannot see. So we need to find a way to just pull back, remove blame game, and look at where am I contributing to the problem from my house. Because some of us want some of the things we want through the channels that we all know if it is amplified is wrong. So we are all contributing in one way or the other. We are all enjoying from this corruption from one way or the other. The moment we can all start nipping that bud, one after the other, it gets better. And I think one of the greatest assets we can invest in now is protecting our minds. Because if we lose our minds, what do we have? If there's a solution, we can't even see it.
But like I said, as long as you're Nigerian, and as long as you wake up every morning in great health, there's always hope. And we'll always still do everything regardless. We'll still turn up. The clubs are still full. We'll still hustle. We'll still find ways to make money despite, the terrible economy. But it's a tough time.
So it's not very easy. It's not black and white to just say this is how I do it or not. There are moments for flexibility. And I think that is the compassion within that and the empathy we have as a people generally helps us. Even not just me, people I also demand services from. I have to beg, I have to make them understand or better. try to find something of value that will help that exchange smooth so that it doesn't look like I'm taking advantage of them.
The economic state of Nigeria. Today, we hear from corporate workers as they share their opinions on how the country's economic situation has impacted their jobs and businesses. Nigeria, since the inception of the democratic era, has experienced a series of economic shifts, from the fluctuation in prices of goods and services to the rising cost of transportation. The economic landscape has seen significant changes over the years. Meanwhile, for many corporate workers, the issue of stagnant salaries in the face of these changes remains a pressing concern.
We hope that things will better in future. The salaries of the staff are cut down. Some of the departments are closed down. My only advice is that even myself, I am thinking of being a self-employed because I quite tell quite of my friends to get and learn a trade.
Nigeria, we just need I feel like we need lights, good roads, this fuel of it, water. I feel like we're just good with those food.
Over the last couple of weeks, the cost of living in this country has really affected me. Our salaries have not been increased. We've not experienced any increase in any way. The cost of living keeps doubling. So doubling is an understatement. It's actually tripling, making life miserable for the everyday man and pushing a lot of people into frustration.
During this period, the prices of essential commodities have seen a marked increase, affecting the daily lives of citizens. Transportation costs have soared, impacting the livelihoods of individuals who rely on public transit for their daily commute. Furthermore, the rising cost of feeding has placed a strain on household budgets, making it challenging for families to make ends meet.
I would recommend you get a second job, you learn a trade, just make yourself useful. In the end, you're the only person that can actually help yourself. No one is going to come and bring food because everyone even wants to take the food you have with you. God help us all.
What the government should do now is to open borders. Let the food come in and compete with the local made food. You see, economy will come down.
Food serve, we dey chop 2 times a day. Before it was 4, 5. I don't know, sometimes I eat the midnight, but now that one is not there again.
This kind of thing, I don't think it has been scripted or there's an hard and fast rule to it. The governments can just try their best to see that most of the promises they made before they got into government are kind of implemented.
Can you please help us know the cost of transportation? Can it go back to normal? The cost of food is so pricey. Can it go back to normal, please?
Despite these changes, the salaries of many corporate workers have remained stagnant, exacerbating the financial strain faced by working professionals. As the economic landscape continues to evolve, the disparity between the rising living cost and stagnant salaries has become a stark reality for many corporate workers in Nigeria. According to recent statistics, inflation in Nigeria has been on the rise, impacting businesses across various sectors, and many are struggling to cope with economic challenges. As we continue to navigate through these economic uncertainties, it is crucial for stakeholders to come together and implement sustainable solutions for a brighter future. We want to hear your opinion on the state of the country. Share with us on our social media platforms at official HIPTV. Nigeria is a fertile land filled with different people from diverse cultures. A lot of Nigerians today have complaints about the economic hardship adversely affecting the state.
Ìsapá ti mú gbogbo èèyàn. Àwọn onílù ọ̀rọ̀ oúnjẹ jẹ, arúgbó ọ̀rọ̀ oúnjẹ jẹ, kò síná, kò sómi.
Oúnjẹ tí wọ́n jù. Please, we are begging the Nigerian government to please assist us, the Nigerians. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ torí Ọlọ́run, ẹ bá wa bẹ̀ wọ́n.
Economic hardship is not a phrase new to the Nigerian populace, as recent days have been tough for the average Nigerian. This came after the current administration introduced policies that had harsh effects on the Nigerian economy.
The first subsidy is gone.
Nigeria may be risking losing about $226 million worth of trade with the Niger Republic by the border closure.
The market merchants were interviewed to derive how the state of the economy has affected their businesses.
There is no food anywhere. Everything is very, very, very expensive. We can't buy fuel. We can't even buy rice. The border has to open. The palliative they are telling people that they want to give us. They should not give us any palliative. How many people are they going to give it to? They should just please open the border and make sure that they bring down the price of fuel.
Torí pé àní ẹ̀ lè ṣe é ní gbogbo ayé bíi pé àná ni wọ́n ṣe tí wọ́n bá ní bẹ̀ wọ́n bá ní sí bọ́dà kọ́wọ́ dọ́là wálẹ̀ gàrí òṣè rà fún mẹ́kúnnù àlejò wà àlejò rẹ́sì. Kọ́tà àtàrí o àròpọ̀ tí wọ́n jò ebi pa wá o látago mẹ́rin máa ti jí bí orí kọ́bọ̀ mú lọ lé gbèsè láńtà.
ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ tí mo gbé dání yìí ó ti jẹ rẹ́sì 300. ẹ jọ̀ọ́ torí Ọlọ́run ẹ ṣàánú wa oúnjẹ 300 naira kò yó níjòkó ẹ̀kọ́ sẹ̀mọ́ tó yẹ ní ìsìsẹ̀mọ́ 300 naira ló jẹ tí ò yó ẹ ṣàánú wa ọmọ tí ò pọ́dún kan. ẹ jẹ́ bá wa bẹ bàbá wa Bọ́lá Tinubu à ń ra báàgì rice 85,000 à ń rà à ń ra ẹ̀wà 100,000 à ń ra òróró 55,000 gàrí 3,000 à ń ra gàrí ẹ̀kẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ kébi pa wá.
Pẹ̀lú bí mo ṣe dàgbà tó yìí kí má lè lówó mú lọ lé bí 2,000 kò sí dáná màá tún máa yá owó kiri ni ẹ ṣàánú wa o ráìsì ò ṣe é rà.
We are begging the Nigerian government to please, they should not share any palliative because it will only get to their people. Please open the border for us. We are begging you.
The tomato sellers statistically analyzed the surge in the price of their commodities.
Ẹ wo àgbàtà kékeré yẹn 40,000 35,000 àwọn tomato yìí 30 25 táwọn àdẹ́tẹ̀lẹ̀ ní 7,000 8,000 latest 10,000 but now 30 35 lower price 25.
The respected Iyalojas critically analyzed how their wares have surged in prices.
ẹ bá wa bá ààrẹ wa sọ̀rọ̀ ìlú Nàìjíríà lè tọmọdé tàgbòrò ń jẹjẹ ẹ wo supageti rè a tún dẹ́gbọ́n sí ni fáwọn ọmọ iléèwé láti lè jẹun àárọ̀ 200 naira ó rè 900 naira tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ 6,000 ní báàgì ní ìsìn 17,000 ẹ wo ráìsì Nàìjíríà ayé Buhari ní ọmọ ìjẹ ráìsì Nàìjíríà alólòkúta ayé Tinubu olókùúta la fi ṣe sí àmàlù 1,200 ẹ wò ó rè ráìsì rè o tálí kò lè jẹ ráìsì mọ́ 1,500 ní ike ọ̀dà 7,000 báàgì ráìsì 80,000 nílùú Nàìjíríà.
Bọ́dà yìí la fẹ́ abẹ́jọba Tinubu kan jọ kí wọ́n ṣí bọ́dà yìí fún wa tó má ṣí bọ́dà á jẹ àáyó.
The frozen food merchants were not left behind in airing their frustrations.
Ẹ̀lọ́ ẹ̀ka ṣe ṣàánú ẹja tí wọ́n jù o ẹja 15,000 di 75,000 àwọn owó fi jẹun mọ́ o ẹ gbà wá.
wèrè ti ṣẹlẹ̀ Nàìjíríà báyọ̀ ẹ̀ fásitì mi ẹ wo now Nàìjíríà àárín chicken kankan tà ebi ti ń pa wá sápá gidi ti mú wa ẹ̀ fásitì mi ẹ wo a ti ń para báyìí lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí o à ń ta chicken tẹ́lẹ̀ gbogbo last year normal 2,000 báyìí ó ti di wèrè báyìí o 3,800 là ń ta kílò ẹgbàá mi ẹ̀ fásitì mi o.
ẹja tí wọ́n jù kó tẹ́ kékeré 2,500 eléyìí 2,000 naira ó ti wà expensive jọ ṣàánú wa ẹ jọ̀ọ́ abẹ̀bẹ̀ ni.
wọn múná wọn láti fi 3 days báyìí láti níná gbogbo àwọn chicken wọn kàn ń bàjẹ́ ní everyday ó lè ń bàjẹ́ so ó mú shortage gidi wá.
tẹ́lẹ̀ eléyìí à ń ta ní bóyá 1,200 eléyìí tẹ́lẹ̀ 800 naira níṣẹ́ eléyìí 2,000 eléyìí 2,500 ó ti pọ̀ jọ ṣàánú wa àwọn owó jẹun mọ́ gbogbo ojúkọ́ ti bọ́.
àmọ́ kan dá lè ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ yìí this thing is going as in ó lọ fà gan.
All these merchants had had enough of the emotional trauma the economic hardship brought to their businesses and expressed their deepest concerns. It is evident that the market is majorly at the receiving end of the effects of economic hardship, as the market is where business is conducted between all classes of people. The question now is, will the government listen to the cries of the people?
Tinubu ti gorí oyè ọjọ́ kejì ní patrol ti gbórí sókè àtìgbà yẹn náà ló ń jẹ tiwọn. ààrẹ jẹjẹ àárí pọ̀mọ́pọ̀mọ́ gan pọ̀mọ́ tá ń rà wàsówàsó tẹ́lẹ̀ 500 ní ẹ̀ńtà ní ìsìn. ọmọ kékeré òrùn jẹjẹ lọ sí skul ẹgbẹ̀lẹ́gbẹ̀gún òyò mọ́ èmi tí mo ń ṣe alábàárù ni mo ń ṣe kò sí nǹkan kan mọ́ ni mo ṣe wọ́n ṣe alábàárù ẹrù ni mo ń gbé èmi kò yọ mi ìrọ̀wọ́ oúnjẹ sẹ́ẹ̀dì sọ́mọ mi ẹ bá wà wá bẹ̀ wọ́n petrol yẹn tó bá ti wálẹ̀ òun lọ́rọ̀ ajé orílẹ̀-èdè petrol yẹn gan-an òun ló jẹ́ kó oúnjẹ cost petrol yẹn ni ṣé tí petrol yẹn bá ti wálẹ̀ oúnjẹ máa wálẹ̀ sà ẹjọ́ kẹ́ bá calm down petrol yẹn ni òun lọ́rọ̀ ajé orílẹ̀-èdè torí Ọlọ́run ni mo fi bẹ̀ yín tẹ́wọ́n ní mo ti wá ṣe alábàárù ń bí ọgbọ́n ni mo fi wá ṣe tí mo wá ṣe alábàárù ebi ń pa àwọn ọmọ ńlé ebi ń pa àwọn ẹjọ́ ẹ ṣàánú wa àdàdìbò fún yín tó dẹ̀dí gbọ̀ngàn yìí.
I should be in school, but I'm doing double shifts. I can start doing bad things.
In Nigeria, the pursuit of higher education has always been a path towards a brighter future. But for many university students, that path is becoming increasingly riddled with obstacles. The culprit, a relentless tide of inflation, eroding the value of the naira and threatening their very access to education. Nigeria's annual inflation rate climbed further to a near 28-year high of 29.9% in January 2024, up from 28.9% in December and above market forecast of 29.5%. Food inflation, which accounts for the bulk of Nigeria's inflation basket, quickened again to 35.4% in January from 33.9% a month earlier, with higher prices across a broad range of items including bread, fish, meat, fruit, and eggs. On a monthly basis, consumer prices inched up by 2.6% in January, the most in 5 months, following a 2.3% rise in the previous months. Nigeria's inflation rate as of October 2023, 21.34%. Source NBS. Percentage of Nigerian students living below the national poverty line, over 40%. Source World Bank. Increase in the cost of university education in Nigeria over the past decade, over 100%. Source NUC reports. Forecast. According to Trading Economics, here is a sample of the quarterly forecast of Nigeria in the year 2024. In the reality of the first quarter of Nigeria, the state of the nation across bustling university campuses, the impact of inflation is palpable. Students, once brimming with youthful optimism, now grapple with the harsh realities of rising costs.
I should be in school, but I'm doing double shifts, doing like 2 jobs to just be able to make up something, so I'll be able to start a part-time. The part-time is still expensive.
Surviving as a youth in Nigeria is quite hard. In one way or the other, I find it means to survive.
Right now, it's really cost.
It's quite hard.
Expenses of living have gotten really high.
Students get into illegal businesses so they can make ends meet.
Scholarships and stipends, once a lifeline for many students, are losing their purchasing power. The ever-growing gap between income and expenses forces students to make difficult choices. The burden of rising costs doesn't just impact students' finances, it also affects their mental and physical well-being. Many juggle studies with part-time jobs, sacrificing sleep and leisure. Food insecurity becomes a real concern, impacting their health and ability to focus on their studies. At university cafeterias, the impact is evident. Students scrutinize menus, opting for cheaper options or skipping meals altogether. The consequences of unchecked inflation go beyond individual struggles. It has the potential to stifle the future of Nigeria's workforce and economy. Nigerian students are known for their resilience and perseverance. Despite the challenges, they continue to strive for their education, driven by the hope of a better tomorrow.
We are trying to manage, trying to get things going by. I just hope that something gets to be done and we'll try to make things done so on our side.
I can start doing bad things, but I feel it will affect me and affect the people that know me. But I just said, let me work. At least if I work hard enough, then maybe I can start up something good.
However, their voices need to be heard. Students, educators, and policy makers must work together to find solutions to mitigate the impact of inflation on education. The future of Nigeria's education system and the potential of its young minds hangs in the balance. Will the nation prioritize education and empower its students, or will the rising tide of inflation wash away their dreams? Only time will tell.